Hello and welcome to the GCN Racing highlights of Stage 3 of the 2019 Tour de France. After flying around the team time trial course like jumbo jets, Mike Teunissen increased his advantage in the yellow jersey yesterday to 30 seconds on his closest rival, Gianni Moscon of Team Ineos. Whilst Jumbo-Visma's dominance over the first two stages mean they now fill the first 5 spots in the overall GC. The question is, can they defend that lead over what is the longest and toughest stage of the race so far? Starting in Binche, the riders crossed the border into France after just 12 Ks. The majority of the rest of the stage is reasonably simple, except for the finale, which is tricky to say the least. 4 classified climbs in the final 50 Ks, much of which is on narrow twisting roads with an uphill finish into the champagne town of Epernay. Eddie Merckx once again setting the riders on their way this morning from Binche, but it is race director Christian Prudhomme who signals the official start, and after a couple of skirmishes in the early part of the stage, we soon have a 5-man breakaway established. Within it, 4 riders from wildcard Pro Continental teams: Anthony Delaplace of Arkea Samsic, Johan Alfredo of Wanty Group Gobert, Paul Ossein of Total Direct Energy, Stefan Rossetto of Cofidis, and then the best placed in the overall classification, Tim Wellens of Lotto Soudal. The Belgian sits at just a minute and 10 seconds behind Teunissen, and as such, he is soon in the virtual race lead. For much of the stage, it was the Panzerwagon himself, Tony Martin, who was the only man setting the pace on the front, the gap over 6 minutes as he covered 80 kilometres of the stage. The intermediate sprint mean both points and prizes, and it's Tour de France debutant Ossein of Total Direct Energy takes both as they cross the line, and there's another big battle behind. Elia Viviani is the quickest, and there's a good deal of daylight between him and green jersey wearer Peter Sagan. Jakob Fuglsang is still suffering the after effects of that crash from the opening stage, and here he is having his wounds redressed by the race doctor. Today is going to be a big test for the Dane. Midway through the stage now, and De Koning Quickstep have hit the front, a relief I'm sure for Tony Martin. With an hour of racing still to go though, Tim Wellens can't help himself any longer. Here he is doing what he does best and putting in a long-range solo attack. However, with De Koning, Bora and Jumbo-Visma all chasing behind, he's going to have to be on the form of his life to stand a chance of winning the stage. He's distanced his former breakaway companions quickly though, and with 30 Ks to go, the peloton now have them in their sights. In winning the second categorised climb of the day, the Côte d'Villers, Wellens has secured himself the provisional lead in the King of the Mountains competition, but it's the stage win he really wants. His gap hasn't come down over the last 20 kilometres, he's got about a minute and 17 seconds with 26 Ks to go. That is down to just over a minute though, as Wellens takes yet more points on the next climb of the day. Ardennes have hit the front now though. Clearly Fuglsang is feeling strong, and they really bring that gap down quickly, and in fact here, by the top of the final climb of the day, Alaphilippe attacks and Wellens is caught. We've all been expecting something from the Frenchman today, but I'm not sure any of us expected him to go solo so far out, and it looks like there's a mechanical problem there too for Wellens. That is the end of the Belgians' day. Alexei Lutsenko of Ardennes is also on the attack here. Will anybody follow him? And there are problems at the back too for the yellow jersey wearer. This looks like it's the dream over for the Dutchman Mike Teunissen. Alaphilippe is absolutely flying here. He has had by far the best season of his career so far. The strength of the Frenchman now is really quite incredible. In fact, he's already got a 36-second advantage over a very strong group behind. Lutsenko there joined by Woods, Schachmann and GC threat Mikel Landa. Behind, Sunweb now are on the front riding for Michael Matthews, and they've caught that chase group. The yellow jersey though is well out of the picture now. 2 minutes the gap between Alaphilippe and Teunissen, but the gap's still hovering around 35 seconds to this group of favourites, including Peter Sagan in green. And still the gap holds steady. Alaphilippe now on the outskirts of Epernay, but let's not forget we've got that hard old climb to the finish line, but he's travelling at 73 Ks per hour there. Ineos now on the front, keeping Thomas and Bernal safe, but it's looking good for Alaphilippe now. He's almost got the finish line in sight, and he's still the virtual maillot jaune. 100 metres to go, and he's done it. It's a third stage victory at the Tour de France for the Frenchman Julian Alaphilippe of De Koning Quickstep, but will he take the yellow jersey too? Or having just taken 10 bonus seconds, he only needs a small gap, and he's done it. Who will be second across the line? Best of the rest, and it is Michael Matthews of Team Sunweb who'll be disappointed with that. Jasper Stuyven taking third place there on the stage, and there looks to be a small gap there, back to Geraint Thomas. The stage, though, all about this man, Julian Alaphilippe. We all knew what he was planning on doing today, and he did exactly that. There's confirmation of the top 10, Alaphilippe taking it from Matthews, Sturb and Van Avermaet in 4th, and Peter Sagan in 5th. And I can tell you there was a 5-second gap between Egan Bernal in 12th and Geraint Thomas in 13th. Well, he's enjoyed the past couple of days, Mike Teunissen, hasn't he? But his reign in the yellow jersey has now come to an end. What a few days it's been for Jumbo-Visma. They do now have second place in the overall classification in Wout van Aert. 20 seconds is his deficit to Julian Alaphilippe, who takes the yellow jersey. Don't forget that if you're in Europe, you can get full live coverage of every stage on Eurosport and Eurosport Player. Let's look at tomorrow, though. Another long one at 213.5 kilometres from Rennes to Nancy, which we are expecting to finish in a bunch sprint of sorts. I say that as with 13 k's remaining, they start the Côte de Maron, a 3.2 kilometre climb that averages 5% and which will be a big test for the pure sprinters.